Welcome back. Senior Rotax, the last race of the day coming up shortly. But before then, I've got the organiser of the Super 1 series, John Hoyle, and the representative from JAG, the Rotax engine importers, George Robinson. John, some exciting news about Super 1 next season.
Yeah, we're going to introduce a pooled engine system where we'll supply all the engines for the drivers at a fixed cost. So we're trying to introduce new people to the series that want the Super 1 experience but may not be able to afford the bigger budgets of the elite teams.
So that's separate from the traditional Rotax series. So there's going to be a Rotax series, maybe a Rotax Elite series, and then a pooled engine series separate to that as well?
Yeah, it'll be totally separate because we feel it's a different kind of customer really. More done on a budget. It'll be a fixed cost, so people know what the cost is and know how much they're going to spend in the year.
And George, just coming to you logistically, how's that going to work from Rotax's point of view? There's going to be a lot of effort put into this, I assume.
Yes, we've got to be very careful that we get it right and hit the ground running. We need to have the infrastructure in place to produce adequate quantities of engines with spare engines, etc., and all of the support required to do a professional job. Fortunately, we've got 90% of that in place already, so we feel very confident we can make it work. And we're planning to run a pilot race, hopefully later on this season, sometime in September.
Okay, and how's that going to work then? You're going to come with significant numbers of engines on a truck. There's going to be controls in place, mechanics, I assume, that are going to look after the engines?
Yes, we've already got the blueprint, if you like, from the World Finals. The Rotax World Finals have been running since 2001, where all the equipment is supplied, and so we can take a lot of the knowledge that's been accrued from them. But also we know very much what we need in terms of staff, most of which is already in place. We've got vehicles in place. So really all we need to do is select the engines. We will run all the engines first, we'll prove their performance and their ancillary parts so that we're able to give the people a completely fair playing field to work with. And it'll be significantly cheaper than the Elite series as it stands.
So basically, John, then the engines will be drawn by lot. Chassis, they're going to use their own chassis?
Yeah, the chassis will be open. All the engines will have one engine. We're limiting the use on tyres, so it is a fixed cost. All the engines, they won't just be supplied new; they'll all be tested for performance. So we will have a tolerance on the engine, so they'll be very, very close, and that will show in the racing.
So here we go then for Rotax Snr Max, the last race of the day. Carl Fowley and Harry Webb on the front row, with James Singleton and Oliver Hodgson on row 2. Oliver Myers and Kieran Gifford on row 3, ahead of Thomas Arm and Adam Clear. Keep an eye for Sean Babington, the 1 plate in P14, and the O plate John Stewart in 17th place. And the C plate as well, Josh Collins down in 28th. So several drivers will be wanting to banzai through the field and make up a lot of lost time. Through they come the first couple of corners. Down to the double apex, and it's all getting a little bit too close for comfort. Loading down to the corner, and it's taken out so many people. Harding's gone, Irvine has gone in there as well. Jude, look at the carts on the inside there. 56-30, that's Agarwal and Norris. Bachman's in there, Carbley's in there. John Stewart, the O-plate, has got out of the melee. Let's have a look again. Down to the first corner, and it's just a long queue. Classic loading once again, and everybody just jostling for position. Bang, 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 and off the circuit they go. Next time around, green flags fly. Of course, they were under Battenberg's while that was all sorted out. And now we continue on with the racing action. Up at the front, though, it is still the 63 of Carl Fowley out in front, trying to build up this gap at the first part of the race. And it's getting very tense behind. A couple of drivers going wide there. That was one of the Strawberry Racing carts going wide. Couldn't quite see which one. But already a bit of a jostle here as James Singleton tries his best to get on terms with Carl Fowley.
The gain, as we saw earlier, Jake, classic loading down to that bottom double apex and try and pick the bones out of that. Who would want to be a clerk of the course? I know Alan Bryant, who is the lead clerk of the course for this Rotax series, this has been where he's been most of the day, in this corner, but he's on and off the track as we see Charlie Eastwood out the 2 plate. And Charlie's quest for the championship this season was looking so good at round 2, but since then he's had nothing but continuing disasters. And another cart running wide. Who's that? That looks like is that the 26 cart? It is, it's Cameron Craig. So the rest of them make the way through the inside hairpin. The one we like to call McNish these days, that's McRae's, the second hairpin. And back with the leaders as they go through the line, it's still Fowley out front.
Yes, Fowley leading up to second place. Now comes Oliver Myers making the move on Singleton with Thomas Arm there in fourth place. All getting very close indeed behind them. And look at the squabbles we've got through the field. This just shows you what it's like when everybody bunches up for position. That was a nice little move there from the 33. That was Cameron Brown moving up the order, and everybody starts to jostle for position behind. Now Oliver Hodgson makes the move on Singleton. So, no, sorry, that's Thomas Arm. He's made the move on the number 9. So another position gain for the number 3 of Oliver Hodgson. That should put him into fourth place quite comfortably.
Josh Collins, the C plate, the Welsh champions, made up half the field, I think, Jake. We just saw him going through the picture down at the double apex. So Josh is trying to put right the wrongs of the first final. You see Charlie Eastwood in the background. What a disaster for Charlie Eastwood. The world champion in this class, won the world finals at the end of last year, but it's been a disaster for him this season.
So further on into the race then, this battle really cooking up now between Myers and Fowley, with Fowley just about hanging on by a knife edge. Oliver Myers will really want to look for that inside line to try and make the move, and this is where you have to start pressuring the race leader into making the mistake. Can I put enough pressure on him so that he drops the ball and I can pick up the pieces? It's really, really tricky from here to build that advantage that you need. Oh, somebody running across the track there. Well, that's very bizarre. I've not seen anybody do that for a long, long time. Well, perhaps somebody can clear that one up for us a bit later, but Fowley maintaining his advantage from Oliver Myers by about a kart length at the moment. It doesn't look like it's going to stay that way for long. Myers up the inside, beautifully done, sweeping pass, and that's the change for the lead. Up third position, Oliver Hodgson trying to get away from Thomas Arm in the 9 and James Singleton in the 6. Still pushing hard. This great battle for third position. There it is. Number 2 trying on. Oh, somebody running wide there. That looks like Thomas Arm has gone from the leading battle. Goodness me. So drama all around the racetrack as Fowley once again putting Oliver Myers under pressure. Now the roles are reversed here, as you see. Trying to force their way down the inside. Oh no, Morin colliding there with Zyra. They go together at that double apex, the Franchitti combo. Let's have a look at this again. This is Philip Morin, the 25, making a good move on the 39, but he just turns in. He just doesn't expect him to be there. Jamie Zyra, they come together. That's a classical racing accident. When one guy makes the move on the inside, I'm coming through. The other one isn't aware that the move is being made, and there's nothing that either driver can do about it. So a little further on into the race, and this is a great battle. The 3 of them are now having Myers up in front, Fowley in second, third is Hodgson, and a great four-way scrap for fourth place between Webb, Singleton, Gifford and Safri. This is brilliant stuff. Oh, that looks like Fowley got through. Yes, indeed, Fowley now leading. Myers going to try and get it back again up the inside of the left-hander. Yes, he's through. Hodgson going to try and follow him back. Fowley back on the inside. This is brilliant. The 3 of them wheel to wheel, and Myers has got a clear track in front of him now. Hodgson swarming all over. Now he goes for second on the inside of the final turn. Is he in a second place? Yes, he is. And here comes Webb in the 23. Oh, spun him round. Webb gets spun around on the way down to the first corner. Oh dear, he just got too eager too quickly. He saw a window of opportunity, and there was no way that Kyle Fowley was going to make that easy for him, and he certainly did not. And that's put Fowley down to fourth place, because look, Singleton now into third position in the number 6 in front of Fowley. The 28 there of Gifford is in fifth position. And it's really got interesting now, right down to the finish line. This is going to be a nail-biter of a contest for third place. Brilliant stuff between this and the black flag. The black flag has gone out then, so somebody is being disqualified from the race. I'm not entirely sure who that's gone for. The stewards, of course, will have seen that incident on the start-finish straight. I don't want to say that any one driver would have gotten that, because we don't know exactly who's got the black flag, but... Goodness me, Alan, a black flag at this stage when everything's so close and very wheel-to-wheel between the drivers. That's definitely going to sort out the men from the boys.
There's been plenty of action in this race, undoubtedly. The Clarks have been very clear this weekend that they're going to take action on poor driving standards, and they've been doing that. We're into the last lap now. Still Myers being hounded by Hodgson. Where's the group in third place? See Charlie Eastwood in the background there. Still Singleton in third.
Such a shame to see Charlie Eastwood looking so crestfallen at the side of the racetrack. Nothing he can do but spectate as this battle goes down to the finish line. Hodgson desperately trying to find a way past Oliver Myers as they take the flag. Is he going to be able to grab first position? They come into the final 2 corners. Will he make a lunge into the last corner? No, he stays where he is. So Myers takes the finish line first, Hodgson's going to take the finish line second place, and it's going to be Singleton who comes home just in third place. But post-race, Oliver Myers and James Singleton excluded from the result.
James, bit of a roadblock that, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I knew I didn't have the pace towards the end, so I figured the only way I was going to get on the podium was by having to defend off my position.
You did that pretty successfully. Anybody you want to thank in particular?
I'd just like to thank my dad, Andy King, for, well, just helping me out this weekend. Also Adrian Coles for setting up the kart.
Oliver, I've not worked out the championship points exactly. You're going to be very close to the lead, if not in the lead, with a round to go. Got to be delighted with that.
Yeah, really happy with the weekend. We had a bit of a disaster in qualifying actually. The kart broke down, which we went we qualified in last place or one from last. We had to work really hard in the heats, and I'm delighted, Frank, for both my performance and the guys from Chaos Sport for giving me a great kart all weekend, because I think we've come from the back in all the heats and we've worked the tyres so hard. I'm really glad that we've managed to get a really good result out of it, and I think we might have outscored Sean overall here, so it puts us in a good position going into the last round to fight for the title. What's it going to take to win this championship? It's going to take a very good round at Shennington, and it's going to really take consistency, just consistently finishing at the front in the last round, because you can't afford to lose any points in any of the races, because if you crash you lose so many in one go. So above anything, consistency.
Oliver, some podiums before, but never a win. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I'm thrilled with this win. I mean, I had to work hard for it. I came from 5th on the grid. It's never easy, but luckily I had the advantage of starting on the inside, so that massively benefited me slipping into 3rd straight away. And then I just picked James Singleton and Cal Fowley off and just held it on my own, really. It was a tough race because I was being pressured from behind from Ollie Hodgson all the way, so it was very hard, but I'm thrilled to have won it. I'd like to thank Coles Racing, my mechanic Alan, and my family for supporting me and getting this far, and I'd also like to thank RDF Building Services Limited.
Contravening light and flag signals, the official reason for those 2 disqualifications. Look what it's done in the championship. Hodgson is just 8 points clear of Sean Babington, with Kyle Fowley still in contention, heading to the last round at Shennington. Join us again for more wheel-to-wheel action at Kimbolton in 2 weeks' time for the ever-popular TKM Festival. See you then.